Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to Atari A to Z, a series of short playthroughs of Atari 8-bit games, some which I grew up with and some which are new to me. Today is one of the former. Today we're taking a look at International Karate, which was a 1985 release from System 3, designed by the one and only Maclean. It was also published by Epix in the United States, where it was renamed to World Karate Championship for some reason. And it was actually the first European game to become a major hit in the United States, so it's very noteworthy from a historical perspective. On its original release, it attracted a certain amount of controversy for its similarity to Data East's arcade game Karate Champ, and in fact there was even a lawsuit over it, but that seems to have all got resolved over time, because this was certainly all over the place back in the day. It was very well regarded at the time of its original release, particularly on Atari 8-bit, but it was somewhat overshadowed by the Way of the Exploding Fist on other platforms. Now that wasn't available on Atari 8-bit, so if you wanted a fighting game on Atari 8-bit, you'd play International Karate. Now, the iconic music from this game, which was composed by Rob Hubbard, was heavily based on Ryuichi Sakamoto's theme to the movie Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. So quite similarly to how we saw that the music from Warhawk a while back, also by Rob Hubbard, was heavily inspired by Space Experience, so too is the music from International Karate inspired by an existing piece of music. So listen out for that while we're playing. Anyway, let's go play International Karate.
Okay, here we are with International Karate from 1986 by System 3 and the one and only Maclean. So, on the Atari ST A to Z series, we've previously seen International Karate Plus, which was a follow-up to this that enhanced the gameplay of the original with things like 3-player gameplay. Just move my cable, excuse me. With things like 3-player gameplay and various other things. But this is the Atari A version, which, like I say, was a very well-received game back at the time of its original release, for providing a really good fighting game. And if you listen to the music in the background there, that's the piece of music that you might recognise. As I say, Rob Hubbard was a wonderful composer, but he also certainly wasn't above lifting melodies from other places if he wanted to as well. Anyway, let's play this game. So we begin by pressing start. We are the one in the white. And just like in International Karate Plus, you control this game with a combination of the fire button and the 8 directions. Each direction on the joystick does something different. So for example, pushing up and right there does that high punch. Pushing left and right just makes you move forwards and backwards. Pushing down does that sweep kick. Down and back does that low punch. And down and forward does a high kick. And if you've not seen a fighting game from this era before, in contrast to the kind of fighting games we have today, where the goal is to reduce your opponent's energy bar, in this, all you need to do is land a clean hit on your opponent. So you land a single clean hit on your opponent, and depending on how clean that hit was, you get either a half or a full point. And you also get awarded a certain amount of score according to how difficult the move is to perform. So for example, something like that kick there, which has a long reach, you'll see you only get 200 points for that. But the sweep kick that he did there is worth 400 points. Something like the high punch, that's also worth 400 points because that's quite easy to land. I think the flying kick is one of the most valuable ones. 500. And then when you win a match, you see you've got a time bonus. So that bonus stays there. I believe, if I remember rightly, you have to sort of waggle the joystick in order to build up power. And then when he says go, it'll break a certain number of blocks according to how much you'd waggled. I think that's how it works anyway. Whoops. See, he landed a completely clean flying kick there, and that got him 1,000 points. So So this was a very early game where you needed an understanding of hitboxes and hurtboxes. Oh, I lost. Made it to yellow belt with a score of 10,200. There we go. Sure. Yeah, a very early game where you had to have an understanding of hitboxes and hurtboxes, which is quite unusual at the time because so many games released around this period used collision detection that was purely based on overlapping pixels. And so if you think of a lot of shoot-em-ups we've seen on this series, I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Excuse me. If you think of a lot of shoot-em-ups we've previously seen on both this series and the Atari ST and the Atari 2600 for that matter, collisions were always handled by just looking at the pixels that made up your sprite and determining whether or not they were overlapping something that would hurt them. Whereas this did something very different. In this, you'll notice that you can overlap each other with no problem whatsoever. It doesn't hurt you. The only time that you can actually hurt each other is it takes into account where your fist is and where your foot is, depending on which move you do. And that will only land if it connects with the body in the right place. And so that was quite an adjustment for a lot of people at the time because people were so accustomed to this sort of old school style of collision that it took a bit of learning. And as I say, even if you're accustomed to today's fighting games, it's also quite an adjustment because a round is decided in a single hit, much like a real karate match. So rather than going for a sort of exaggerated, stylized format, this is very much going for a sort of sporting style scoring system that is similar to what you see in actual karate competitions or the Olympics or such like. And as you can probably tell, that makes for a very different sort of game to today's fighting game. So some of the fundamentals are still there. So you still need to understand reach and space and how you can keep yourself safe around your opponent and how to counter various types of moves. But there's this very distinct tenseness to the experience that comes with the knowledge that just a single punch or a single kick can decide a round. And that failure on your part could come about entirely because of a couple of unlucky hits from your opponent. Just two hits could have you out of the competition completely. That was a nice punch. So let's waggle. No, I did that wrong. Maybe it's just about pressing the button at the right time. I don't know. I don't have the manual to hand, you see. Now, the one noteworthy thing you will notice about this over and above International Karate Plus, which is my only sort of real criticism of International Karate Plus, because IK Plus is a wonderful game, is the background changes in this one, whereas IK Plus only had one background. It was a very lovely background, admittedly, but it was still only one background. Whereas one of the key selling points of International Karate was that it was international. As you play through the game, you would see different backgrounds based on different countries. And so here we are in New York. Oh, we ran out of time. But I had more points, so I won. Damn you, Red! Come here. Come on. Ah, missed. Damn it! So yeah, lost it. Lost it. Just 2 hits. And I lost it. 7,800. That wasn't even as good as our previous score. When we got that far, that's disappointing. Need to do some more adventurous moves, clearly. Again! Nice. Right in the chin. I always found the digitized sounds in this quite impressive. Much like in IK Plus, they don't necessarily correspond to what you're doing, in that they're just taken from kung fu movies and it's all like the whoosh noise, but it makes this sort of impact noise even when you don't actually land a punch. But I think, in some respects, the low quality of the samples in this, compared to the SD version, actually works in its favour. Because it just makes it sound like a stylized sound effect. And I think it works much better. Nice! That's how you do it. Right in the face. Don't you try and roundhouse me, you little shit. Ow! Okay, I deserve that. No! No, no, no. You will have none of this. Ow. See there, I only got to level 3, but I had almost as many points as when we made it to New York in that previous playthrough. It's all to do with the moves you pick. I'm enjoying this. It's a very simple game in terms of structure, but it's very addictive, especially if you play with 2 people, as you might expect. Damn you, Red. Ooh. Nice. So the one thing that will take a bit of adjusting to in this for sort of fans of newer fighting games, I guess, is the control scheme. Just because having a move assigned to every direction is very much an acquired taste if you're used to having 6 buttons. But it also means you can generally guarantee that you're going to perform the move you want to do. Because there's no sort of quarter circle forward, no charge moves. So you know that when you push a particular direction, you're going to do that particular move. Alright, let's see if this is all about timing. There we go. I guess it is all about timing. So you got it. It's like a reaction test. You have to press as close to when he says go as possible from the look of things. I guess, anyway. Like I say, I don't have the manual to hand, so hard to say for sure, really. Nice. Come on, we can make it... No! Cheeky bugger. Oh, he's won, bastard. Got more points, though. Again. Missed. In the back of the head. Lovely stuff. Come on. Nope. No. Come here. There we go. 100 points. Didn't deserve any more than that, really. That was nice. Surely that deserved a full point. Come on now. I'll take it. I'll take it. Full point, if you're curious, is also known as an ippon. And a half point is known as a waza-ari. So if you watch karate in the Olympics, for example, you'll see that terminology used. Or if you watch it in just normal karate competitions, that terminology will be used. But in this game, it just chose to use half point and full point just to keep things clear for people who didn't know the specialist terminology. Because remember, we did not live in as international an age as we do now, so there wasn't quite as easy access to sort of the language learning resources we have on the internet today, so people would have been less familiar with Japanese. Unless it made sense to keep things in English. Because while people would have been familiar with karate as a concept, they might not necessarily have been familiar with the Japanese terminology that was used in karate. Get ready. Pretty nice. Right, you red bastard. Ouch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I did, really. Die, communist karate man. Or something. Just getting into the 80s mindset. I mean, we are fighting in America after all. We've made it past level 5, everyone. Ooh, we're up to green belt. Very nice. Oh, missed. Get him! Ooh. That was a relatively epic battle for international karate standards there. Nice. Oops. Oh, damn it. I deserve to be hit by that with my incompetent flailing around. Come. Oh. I'll take it. Even though it was a decision by time. No. No, no, no. I'm not having this. Lovely. You might also notice that this game, and others like it, were a pioneer of pushing backwards to block, which is something I often forget to do in this game. But yes, you can block stuff in this. You push in the opposite direction to that which you're facing. Nicely done. You can actually block incoming strikes, which is very nice. Ooh, we're having a good run this time. This is the one. Purple belt. Get ready. For what? Exactly. Ooh. Okay. That went well. So another new background to enjoy. Let's see. That's Christ the Redeemer in the background, isn't it? See, you can button mash in this game too, and it occasionally results in success. Punch! Nice. I thought that was pretty clean. But, oops. It was as clean as that, certainly. Stop it. Oh, I've lost. It's all over. But that is our best score, I think. Yes, by quite a long shot. Alright, well, we have filled the high score table, so I'm satisfied with that. That is International Karate for Atari 8-bit, an excellent fighting game that is still a lot of fun to play today. Both by yourself, as you can see, it's actually pretty entertaining to battle against a computer as they get increasingly better at fending you off. But as with any other fighting game, this really shines when you play against another person. And the nice thing about this is because the control scheme is so simple, you can teach this to someone very, very easily. So, whereas today's fighting games are super complicated, and you have to explain about meters, and you have to explain about special moves, and you have to explain about all the different buttons that they have to use. No, in this, one button, 8 directions, that's all you need to know. All you need to know is that you need to land a clean hit on your opponent to get a point. Simple as that. Simple as that. So sometimes it really pays to keep things nice and straightforward. Anyway, we'll leave that there for today. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.